yourself through approaching your fears decides entirely if your dream reality is going to be realized. That's that, entirely. How you are approaching your fears, small, medium ones, big ones, the deepest ones that you probably even don't know that they exist, decides entirely on how smooth it is your journey towards your dream realized. Hello, Leah! Oh my goodness, Bye-bye! Oh my god. Okay guys, so this is the place, this is a little bumblebee from Florida. So this is the place that we are at. This is our living room. And in 20 minutes, we have guests arriving from Florida. Oh my god! Let me know how is your heart doing. I'm beyond excited. And I wanted to jump in over here before there's going to be too many people and too crowdy, which never it is. Look at that view. Exactly. Exactly. Talking about an ultimate manifestation, right? By the way, when the water is so low, it looks so similar like the beach at a little bay in Scotland I was driving to like every few days. So it's crazy for me to manifest something that looks so similar, bigger in size but so similar features than the place I was at, walking and manifesting my new life. So, before everyone will arrive, Andrea is gonna come back from the shops, the food is ready and we want to get some more. I wanted to dive in with you because there is a massive experience I have had myself exactly 3 years ago, 4 years ago, oh my god! 4 years ago, that changed absolutely everything in my life, and the way I approach this specific situation is directly connected with me manifesting my dream life, where previously to that moment, for 5 years, I couldn't manifest and realize my dream life outside of 9 to 5, outside of debts, meeting the person of my dreams, the love of my life. I was single for 8 years, I was in 9 to 5, that I wasn't in alignment with, but I made myself like it. I made myself appreciate it. I made myself love it. But my soul was slowly dying more and more and more. It was a big part of my journey to be at that 9 to 5 so I can grow and expand, so I can learn how to be with people, so I can release my shadow while I was triggered by my coworkers. Why was I triggered by my coworkers? Not because that there is something wrong with them, but because of the explosives I held within myself, that they were connected to the trigger, and I was the one that it was exploding or pushing down. The explosives wanted to come out of me so badly. Okay, so that workplace that I was struggling with so much for so many years became my absolute best playground and a training field for who you are hearing and seeing right now. By the way, job is not done. Job is never done. There is always more and more room for me to improve and grow, and I have signed up for ever growth. Yet the way I was approaching my biggest fears changed absolutely everything for me, and it just became like a massive crossroad on my path. So I wanted to share with you that experience, because I know that when you are watching, when we are watching another person leading herself so powerfully through something so challenging and painful and excruciating, we automatically rise up by just listening to that frequency that oozes out through the person's mouth and the story, because they crossed the river of change. I have crossed the river of change, and I want to share with you from that empowered frequency. I also want to let you know that I'm not a person who was right away, I'm afraid of something, and I was running and facing it. I was the first one to freeze. When there is a fear, I was the first one to freeze. My shadow side is to not act and move when there is a divine timing to act and move. And then I'm acting and moving when it is a divine timing to be still. Okay, so that's my shadow side, that it was not me not knowing about it, me not inspecting what's happening within me and which way I am in different situations didn't allow me to create and manifest my life, because I didn't know anything about myself deep enough to create something so huge and big, like disconnecting from the grid, going absolutely and entirely independent, creating from pure energy, open loving heart coherence, the life that it's beyond my wildest dreams. I was 8 years single. It is so easy to say like, I think that's it for me. By the way, what did you do in your 30s if your 30s are behind you? You partied. You had maybe the best time ever. Or maybe you're growing up your children. I was single for 8 years of my 30s. I believe that I finished one relationship when I was 32, maybe even 31. And then, I don't remember exactly, and it's not about details. And then I met Andrea after I turned 39. That's over 8 years, maybe even 9, of me being single. Okay, you would think like, okay, I think that's it for this one. I think that's it. I think, right? Yet, I did dove so deeply into the fears that I had around it. I'm actually scared and terrified of dying on my own. And that changed everything for me. But I had no idea I had that fear until there was a divine timing and supportive energies that occurred in my life in order to support me from dealing with that fear. When you ask the divine for, divine, help me release that fear, he's not gonna pull the fear out of you and say, there you go, Eliza, there you go, Bhavani, there you go, Lee, that's your fear, look at it, we can throw it away. He, she, it, the divine is gonna give you an opportunity to release that biggest fear. So yet you got to do the work. You got to gather greater amounts of courage and love. I love you guys so much. Greater amounts of, I love these emojis. Let me know how that's landing for you. Greater amounts of courage and love. And simultaneously, while you're listening to that with your open heart, I want you to dive in and write down in your journal, pen and paper, what are the fears you have overcame, because I don't want you for it. There is no way that I will allow you to sit here, listen to that and be like, oh, I'm bound by the fear, I never done the thing that Eliza did. You did. The thing is that you did, maybe even more. You released so many fears already, but what this conditioned mind is noting, what is not done yet. What is not good enough, what is missing. And we are the ones who are reprogramming our subconscious mind and reprogramming our nervous system and the muscle memory and fascia memory in our bodies through reaffirming, I overcame this fear. I looked at this so deeply, okay? Yes, nothing is going to land on our lap coming from fear. Exactly. So the divine is going to hand you an opportunity to release that fear. And that opportunity came for me in 2020 in spring. I don't remember exactly if it was end of March or beginning of April. I know it was exactly 4 years ago in the spring when the big thing happened and blew up, and I was at the times a big into love and light. Love and light on me! Woohoo! Nothing else matters and exists. But I wasn't like fully all in. I was still in a deep process of releasing my shadow and using a shadow work every single day as a divine tool, a tool that supports me in staying sharp in who I am and leveling up my energy. And simultaneously, I was using a great amount of meditation and breath work every single day. And I mean hours, 3, 4, sometimes 5, 6 hours of meditation daily, every single day, because I felt the pull to level up, because I decided I'm going to be living in love frequency only. So then the thing happens and blows up. I'm dreading. Some energy within me dreads me going to the shops, and when I'm close to running out of the things I wanna have and eat from, oh, I'll let the cacao break. Believer. I'm going to the shops and I see, put the story time if you want to hear it, put the story time in the chat, and I see I'm going to Aldi, that was obviously Scotland, in Livingston, next to Bathgate, where I was living for years, And I spent nearly 20 years in Scotland, which is obviously now in my blood. Believer, yes. And I'm going to the shops, and indeed I'm still having a lot, but I feel and sense this absolutely mad and crazy fear frequency. Okay, fear frequency is talking to everyone. Everyone's eyes are just absolutely overflowing, oozing out with fear, anxiety also, but fear in such a deep core level. And I'm just not talking about fear, oh, I don't know if I look good because my hair is messed up. No, the deeply rooted fear of, oh, I could die tomorrow if I will touch this person. If I don't have food, I'm gonna die in 2 weeks. Like that kind, I'm talking about a primal fear, not the fear, oh, I have a chipped nail, I'm anxious about what others will think of me. I'm talking about a giant amount of fear that it is in the ether absolutely everywhere, right? Now, I'm going then to another shop next to it, Sainsbury, a little bit fancy, actually quite fancy. And over there what I see is maybe 1/3 of the stuff from the whole shop is left on the shelves. And something within me is now triggered to the core of my being. And I have no idea what was it. And I was keeping myself calm and all of it, wearing mask. It's easy to kind of feel hidden and kind of like private with your emotions when you go into the people. Most of us don't want to feel like, every one of us see us crying or being in fear. We want to kind of remain the pose, right? So I just want to be calm. I just want to be calm and stay in my body and process WTF, what the heck is going on with me right now while I am exposed to question mark, what if that food is gonna run out within a week or two? What the heck am I gonna do there? I have some backup in my home of different foods. I can be okay for maybe a month or two, but what's after, okay? So this is before I educated myself on the subject. Okay, before I knew what I know now, before I know that was all before, right? Very fresh first thing that was broken up. And then I'm leaving that shop. I grab whatever I wanted, needed. I didn't grab like too much or nothing. Definitely I didn't grab the toilet paper because there was nothing on the shelves. And I went into my car and I sat down and I burst crying so deeply that my whole gut was just absolutely vibrating and shaking. I was sweaty, I was crying uncontrollably to the core like a baby. I was just sobbing my guts out in that car, not having a clue what's going on. At that time I was a very connected person. Right away I could connect to the creator, right away I could get answer, right away I could connect to the quantum field, right away I could know what's going on within my body, what's happening, am I positive that it's something wrong, is it the fear frequency, what's going on. At this time I was absolutely and entirely disconnected, because this is what fear is doing to you. Now, fear is something that is already rooted within you. And when when you expose yourself to others' fear, it doesn't give you fear. It triggers the fear you hold within yourself that perhaps you didn't even knew you have. If there is something I want you to take from this life that could change your whole life and situation and manifest your dreams and heal your whole body and create that purpose work that brings you wealth, prosperity and goodness to the whole wide world, I want you to take that. Fear is not something that someone gives it to you as an adult person who is above 7 years old. After the age of 7, you're only are responding to the fear or reacting to the fear that's already within you. Okay, so that stuff triggers the fears that are within me, and I don't know what are they, because I'm so blinded by the fear. I'm so in survival and I have no idea what's going on, and I allowed myself to cry my guts out. People were passing by, no one even seen anything. I was still having a little bit of a thought, what they will think of me, should I hide or whatever, or if someone from my friends or past is gonna see me. No one cared. Everyone is in fear. Everyone is survival. The only thing they can think about is themselves and their families. That's what fear is doing to you. That's what survival is doing to you. It makes you selfish. And it isn't a bad thing. It's designed to make you survive. Instead of go and run and do something that looks good in eyes of others, or doing something, we're unable to create something for the greatest good of the world if we are in survival. That's why I am such a giant advocate for nervous system regulation, because it's foundation of everything you're doing. If you want to release the survival out of the depth of yourself, you're still in survival. Period. Doesn't matter how happy you are, doesn't matter how good that looks like, and that survival is gonna come up to the surface with the right situation, when the right opportunity for it to come up is presented in the front of you. And then most of people is pushing it down because we've been conditioned to do that. Food, drinks, alcohol, smoking, food, sex, pleasure, buying stuff. It's just so much outside, and from the outside in. So I'm coming out of that shop, I'm crying my guts out in that car, like uncontrollably. Question mark what's going on, which it didn't happen for me for, at that time, I believe 5 years. Okay, so I'm starting to realize what's going on, and I'm feeling I am in the grips of fear. And the thing comes up, logical, sober thinking. Okay, I'm in an absolute fear. What the heck am I gonna do with it? My soul came in forth like a blasting light, and I could hear the questions from my soul. What if this situation here never gonna change? What is this situation here? What if this is never gonna change, right? And I kept on crying. Now, I'm trying to reach out, what is the fear that I have? And I'm going layer by layer. I'm afraid that there is no food. Or I'm afraid that if there is no food, that I'm gonna starving, that I'm gonna not be able to go and ask people to support me because we shouldn't be seeing each other, but I'm still forced to go to work, right? It was just absolute BS. And then I'm going deeper, and I'm reaching my deepest fear. A fear of dying on my own, in a foreign country, in Scotland, not in Poland, on my own, without family next to me, without anyone supporting me, without anyone wiping my ass or nose when I am maybe in the worst stages of dying in a horrible way. Because when the fear comes up, it doesn't give you the best case scenario. It gives you the worst one. It gives you absolutely the worst one. And this is the moment when, after I reach the core of my fear, I am scared of dying on my own from perhaps unknown disease or whatever, or starving. And that's what felt scary. And then I ask myself, and what's after? Well, and then I will transition into another existence, and right, and then all of my fears and pain are gonna be gone, and all of a sudden I'm gonna be absolutely at enlightened peace. How do I know about it? Because I crossed the river of change. I've been there in my meditations, and I've been in other dimensions with my eyes closed and open, through the breathwork and meditation, through the work that I'm preaching and teaching, with my loving open heart that is embodiment of everything I am preaching. And so then what, right? And then I'm gonna be just flying high in my spirit, and then I will choose another existence. Okay, so I see no problem with dying. Okay, but that's, I want you to know that that's analytical, sober, healthy, analytical. Let me double check if maybe our guest arrived. Oh my god, it's so exciting. Let's double check. Nope, not yet. Few minutes. Okay, so where were we? So that was analytical. So my mind, the healthy mind, the divine mind, the healthy mind, not the conditioned ego mind. Oh, Andrea is back with food. That's what happened. And I was like, what's going on? What's happening? You want to say hello to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah? Say hello.
Hola.
Hello. Look at the goodies you
from
brought.
Puerto Penasco, Mexico.
What did you brought there for all of us? Oh my god, this is Andrea. Full on charm. Pure gentleman. Full on charm and beauty. This is manifesting the best soul you could ask for. Look what I just got. Ali Puccino, you want some? You want some? Do you want a rose? Oh, this is so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Okay, loves. I'm so happy you get to see that stuff alive when it's happening. Thank you. So when that happens, this is only analytical. What majority of people is doing, they leave their body behind. They abandon their body, and they're only living analytical. It's okay to die because I will transform to another existence. After all, I'm only spirit. I'm a spiritual being in a human body. But the body is still shaking and overflowing from the fear that it just came up to the surface, but it is not released. And now this is where the real work starts. This is where nervous system regulation and emotional intelligence and practicing all of that stuff of walking in the wish fulfilled is everything. But this time in an entirely different way. Those roses are so cute. Yes. Hi, Andrea. Bafani and Leah say hello. Andrea is like back and forth. So, she's smiling, says thank you. So that's what majority of people are doing. They're abandoning their body, that it's overflowing with that old trapped emotions, and literally with that fear still trapped in the cells. You wanna come up, baby? And this is where the work started. This is where I dove even deeper into my meditations and having an entirely different way of being when I wasn't in meditation. I've said to myself that I will not be like the rest of the world right now. I will not be crippled by fear, and I don't care that the whole wide world is doing it. Even if there is 8 billion people crippled by fear, I will not be in that team. I refuse to be crippled by fear. The question arises, what if this is going to be like for the rest of my existence? Maybe 5 more years I will live in this world, maybe 500. Maybe there is a magic pill everyone is gonna get and everyone is gonna be living 500 years or 998 years like in the Bible at the beginning, right? I don't know. I am very open. I'm very open from expanded, empowered energy, okay? So even if it is 5 years or 500 years, I refuse to live crippled by fear, because that body would always win over the mind. You can say to yourself, I love myself, I am beautiful, I am amazing, I can do this. But if your body is overflowing with fear, if it's overflowing with anxiety, it's already programmed to be in fear and do the things that bring you more fear and reaffirms itself, okay? So that's why this work always starts with nervous system regulation. That's why Reset and Rise Up is such a big deal in my life, because that program is a life-saving program. It's not only saves lives from survival into thriving and creation mode, but it changes how the person responds to the whole wide world at all times, entirely. And these are the tools you can take with you for the rest of your life and repeat and repeat and take them deeper and deeper and deeper. So I decided I will be walking in this fear, being present in my body and remembering I am not the fear. By the way, read the post from yesterday and the caption. And I did that, and I walked in that fear for about 2.5 weeks. So for 2.5 weeks, I was observing the fear in my body. I was regulating my nervous system, not to get rid of fear, but to go deeper into it and see its roots and branches. How is it shows up? What does it makes me to do and think and eat? How does it make me to talk to people and all of it? 2.5 weeks later, I was the brightest light in all of my environment, with my online groups, friends, spiritual circles, in my workplace, in my meditation circles, in my community, everywhere. And I'm not gonna lie, people were scared of me. People were more scared of me than the COVID. Oops, I said the word, and I know that this thing picks it up and then shovels it on the side because I said the word. People were scared of me than that thing. Why? Because I was not scared together with them of the things they were scared. I was no longer the crow that cracks the same way that they are. Not that I was much before, But now I distanced myself so much. And with time that eased, because I remained in up-leveling my frequency. And when there is the brightest light, either you have to go away because you can't stand it, or you're gonna kind of join the team, or you're gonna kind of start trusting them and loving them. And I became that go-to person, where before, not right before, but maybe a year, 2 years earlier, I was the person everyone was trying to avoid, because I wasn't that easy to go to. I was so driven in that work, but that's for another time. So it took me 2.5 weeks to overcome the deepest fear, and everything changed after. I made 2020 the best year of my absolute life, and I've manifested the life beyond my wildest dreams a year later. So at the end of the year, I met Andrea, the love of my life. Now we are married, very happily married. 5 months later, I manifested quitting my 9-to-5 job and going all into my purpose work, my heart-driven soul work, supporting other people, creating their dream, healing their bodies from incurable diseases through our sessions, through the videos of me, recorded videos of me. Go and watch them. And they come back, oh, that thing, that Hashimoto thing I had for years, it's now gone. Doctors cannot believe it. And on and on and on. Everything changed after, because I dove the deepest into my biggest fears. That wasn't the only fear I dove deeply into. There were many others, but in this video, that's the only situation I'm talking about. And I want you to look back. I want you to grab a pen and paper, and I want you to look back. I want you to ask your heart, what was that dream? What was that fear you dove into yourself in the past? Also, we have a very famous saying, feel the fear and do it anyway, but simultaneously alchemize that fear. People wait for the fear to go away before they're gonna take action. And they keep on waiting, and keep on waiting, and keep on waiting. And that's it. Nothing changes if nothing changes. I'm urging you to alchemize your fears with the power of your love. Because if you truly deeply love yourself, you will not allow your body to be abandoned by you while it's overflowing with lower energies. You signed up for it on a soul level to come here and transmute those energies in your body. You signed up in this life for releasing the fear that all of the past 20, 30, 50, 100 generations were carrying. You are here in this exact time of the life to dive deep into your specific purpose work, into your specific soul mission, not to repeat someone else, do this and that, and you can only go to toilet once per hour, and you cannot leave the building. No, you're a free sovereign being. You have so much light within yourself that there is more than the sun has. But how you are embracing the power that it is you decides if you are living in your dream life or you're crippled by fear. I see lots of people scared and terrified of their parents dying, and I understand that. Of someone leaving their life, disappearing, partner, friend, pet, cannot even imagine. But after all, everyone comes and goes. Everyone comes and goes. Thank you for sharing that with me. Everyone comes and goes. So it's gonna happen at some point. And that isn't end. It's a transition to another existence. It's a reunion with more of the family. And I'm speaking from the experience that I have had in my sessions, in my visions, in my experiences. So I speak for myself, not to convince you or anyone. No. But I'm reassuring you that being afraid of something that is, you know it's going to happen, keeps you away from not only living your life to the fullest right now, it keeps you away from enjoying them here and now in this moment, and it keeps them captive. If you will go, I will be worse without you. It is because it's trapped in your body. Bhavani says, yes, I am aware of it, but it is very hard. It is, because it is trapped in your body. So knowing that just analytically means nothing, changes nothing, nothing, nothing. But then doing the work, the stuff I spoke about during this half and weeks in my case, that's what changes everything. So if you are ready to do that work with me and you desire to receive support and help, send me a private message. I am getting right now lots of one-on-ones, short ones, medium length, a little bit longer ones, not the 6 months thing, one session, 15-minute session, 30-minute session, 1 hour session. If you desire to shape shift your reality, release from your body the stuff that holds you back from being here and now, the person you know you came here to be, it is time to do it. And if not me, do it with someone else. But do it, do it, do it, do it. Just go and do it. Just do it. Go deeper and do it. If you would truly, truly, truly deeply love yourself, how would you feel right now? How would you sit? How much would you fly through the ether in this body? Would you be this way and unapologetic? I'm sorry. Or would you be just owning unapologetically your existence? Because that's what self-leadership is about in this life, as a person who is creating your soul path in alignment with your design. I'm gonna finish with that. Alchemize your biggest fears right now, and you will stop delaying the process of your wildest dreams being delivered to your door. And remember, program doesn't change the program. Ego doesn't change the ego. Body doesn't fix the body. Energy, the quantum field, specific frequency, is doing that on our behalf. So our job is only to tune in with that frequency. Our job is to surrender, not push, not force, not try to control. Our job is to surrender to the calling that is within us, to that knowing. I'm gonna finish with that. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Comment below replay if you're watching this on the replay. If you love this, let me know what was your biggest lesson. What was the biggest thing that you took out of it? And tell me in the comments, what is your heart calling you to do? Also, don't be afraid to share your fears below, because we all have them. We all have them. Do you think I released all of my fears? Heck no! But it's a daily commitment of going all in. Do you know how many fears I had when I started recording videos? 8 years ago? Holy cow! I cannot even tell you. Fears, my face is square, my lip, this is higher, this is lower, was unbelievable. But that's for another time. I love you, I appreciate you. Reach out if you desire to go deeper with me with this work and shape shift your whole reality, perhaps in 1 week.